Cambridge International School, Dasuya, a vassal education school. I am Radha, working as PGT Business Studies at Cambridge International School, Dasuya. Students, we are studying Chapter 6, that is Staffing. In our previous class, we have studied about the different types of sources of recruitment, internal sources of recruitment, external sources of recruitment, its types, its merits and demerits. Now today, in this video, we will discuss about the process of selection in detail with the help of different steps involved in it. Learning objective. Today our learning objective is, students, you will understand meaning of selection and steps involved in the process of selection. Students, before starting this topic, I would like to mention one thing here regarding the marks of question comes from this topic. Students, we can ask you the question like explain selection, that is for 1 mark. Explain the process of selection in detail, it can come for 6 marks. And the question can come on the basis of case studies, like they can ask you to identify and explain the steps involved in the given case study. So, let us start the discussion about our today's topic, that is selection. Student selection begins where recruitment ends. Selection is the process of identifying the most suitable candidate. Selection. It is the process of identifying and choosing the best person out of a number of prospective candidates for a job. Towards this purpose, the candidates are required to take a series of employment tests and interviews. At every stage, many are eliminated and a few move on to the next stage until the right person is found. Students, after completing the recruitment process where we have studied that job description and candidate profile is prepared, situation vacant is prepared, and now this situation vacant we need to advertise with the help of different sources available so that we can attract large number of people to apply for a vacant post. After receiving CV or resume or applications from interested people, those who are willing to work with the organization. Now, after this, we need to go through the selection process. It is an important step of staffing process where we need to choose or we need to discover the best and most suitable candidate out of large number of prospective candidates. So, we will start discussion about the process of selection, which involves some important steps to be followed. Students, with the help of selection process, we will study that where at each step unsuitable candidate will be eliminated or rejected and the other will move towards the next step, because here we are going to eliminate or reject unsuitable candidate at each step of process of selection. And by following the process of selection, we are going to find or select the best candidate for a vacant post. Students, one question can come from this topic, that is why selection is a negative process. It is a negative process because at each step of process of selection, we are going to reject some people, we are going to eliminate some people, those who are unsuitable or those who could not pass that particular step, and rest all will move to the next. And with the help of this process, we are going to select the best one. So by rejecting many, so we can say that selection is a negative process. It is a positive process also because we are going to select the best one. Process of selection. The important steps in the process of selection are as follows: preliminary screening or screening through biodata, selection test, employment interview, then reference and background checks, selection decision, medical examination, job offer, contract of employment. Now, this is the first step in the selection process, preliminary screening, to eliminate the underqualified or unqualified candidates. Students, this is the first step of process of selection. After receiving application or resumes from potential candidates, those who have applied for the particular post or those who are willing to work with the organization. Now, screening will be started. At first stage only, unqualified candidates will be eliminated or will be rejected, and rest others will be moving towards the next step. For example, suppose if Cambridge International School has given advertisement for the vacant post of commerce teacher to teach at grade 11 and 12 level. So for teaching grade 11 and 12 level, he or she must have an educational qualification of MCom B.Ed. If any candidate who has not passed this criteria or who doesn't have educational qualification of MCom B.Ed, then this candidate will not go for the next step. That will be eliminated from the list or will be rejected at this step only. What is the benefit of this screening? That it will help to save efforts and time of the organization, because without fulfilling the educational criteria, that person is not able to teach to the higher classes or at commerce level. So next one, that qualified candidates only will appear for the next step. So it is called preliminary screening. After rejected, unqualified, unfit candidates, now selected candidates will move towards the next step of selection, that is selection test. This is the second step in the process of selection. Selection test. The main aim of selection test is to measure certain characteristics of an applicant with the help of various tests involved in the selection test: intelligence test, aptitude test, personality test, trade test, and interest test. Now the first test which we need to conduct under the selection test, that is trade test, to ensure the candidate is suitable for the particular job or trade. Trade test. This is the first test we need to conduct under selection test. It helps to measure the existing skills of an individual. Students, it helps to measure the existing skills. That means his present or actual knowledge and skills related to his area of profession. Does he have knowledge and skill related to his work, so that he will be able to give his standardized performance as per the expectations of an organization. Students, keep remember, we are going to measure his existing, or we can say actual skills of an individual, whether he is capable to do the given job or not. Now next is aptitude test, to know the potential of learning new skills. Aptitude test helps to measure the potential of an employee for learning new skills. With the help of this test, we can come to know an individual's capacity or willingness to learn new skills for his personal development. This test is a good indicator of person's future success score. It helps to assess hidden qualities of an individual. Here, one thing I would like to share with you regarding the main difference between trade test and aptitude test. Aptitude test, which we conduct to know about the capacity of employee to learn new skills. Students, I am repeating, to learn new skills means his capacity to learn new skills. But whereas the trade test, it helps to know the actual or present knowledge and skills of a person to do a particular job. So, in aptitude test, our focus is to see the capacity to learn new skills, and in trade test to see his existing or present skills to do a particular job. Next is interest test. It helps to check the interest of involvement of a person on the job. Students, interest test will help us to know his likes, dislikes and interest for a particular job. We will come to know why he is interested to do this job, what he likes most in this job, etc. Next test, which comes under selection test, that is personality test. It helps to evaluate an individual's emotions, his or her reactions, maturity level, values, etc. Students, personality test. This helps the business firm to know about the emotions, maturity level, or reactions of an employee, or we can say overall personality of an employee. While taking any decision, how he reacts, what are the values adopted by him, his emotional balance, etc. So these tests probe or evaluate his overall personality. Hence, this test is difficult to design and implement. Now, our last test, which will be conducted under selection test, that is intelligence test. It is performed to measure the level of intelligence. Students, you can see in this image two types of intelligence tests are there. That how many animals do you see? 3, 4, 5 or 6? And next question is, can you solve this viral IQ test? 11 into 11 equal to 4. 22 into 22 equal to 16. Then what will be the answer of 33 into 33? Students, guess what will be the answer? Yes, this is 64. So this helps to measure the level of intelligence. Intelligence test help to measure the level of intelligent quotient of an individual. We can understand about his learning ability or ability to take decisions and judgment in different situations. So we have studied about the selection test where different tests are there like interest test, trade test, aptitude test, intelligence test, personality test, and some have selected and some are rejected. Those who have rejected, that will be eliminated and they will not move towards the next step. Those who have selected, now they will come for the next step, that is called interview, or we can say employment interview. It helps to assess the level of confidence to take up the job. In this step, we are going to evaluate the applicant's suitability for a job. It is a formal, in detail conversation between the organization and potential candidate. Both, it means manager or management and potential candidate, both can get detailed information about each other. Business firm can find the suitability of candidate for the vacant post, and if any individual, any candidate wants to know something about the firm, that information he will get here. So it is about the detailed conversation between the employer and potential candidate. After evaluating the applicant's suitability for the job, now next step is checking references to collect some useful information about the candidate from outside persons. Reference and background check. Many employers request names, addresses, and telephone numbers of references to verify the given information or to know the detailed information, additional information. Previous employers, teachers, university professors can act as a references. With the help of this, organization can come to know about the candidate, his previous job record, etc. After reference and background check, next step is selection decision. Final decision is made by the manager based on the performance of the candidate. Selection decision. The candidate who has passed the previous steps like selection test, cleared employment interview, and references verified, then the concerned manager has to take final decision to select a particular candidate, and that manager is only responsible for the performance of new employee. So here final decision will be taken whether that particular candidate is selected or not. So manager has to take final decision that whether a particular candidate is selected or not. After selection of the best candidate who is best suitable for a vacant post, now he will go through the medical examination process to check the physical fitness of the candidate. Next is medical examination. With the help of this examination, we can come to know whether the selected candidate is physically fit or not, whether he is able to perform the given job or not. Physical fitness ensures regularity, less absenteeism, and better performance. If that person is physically fit, then he will be able to perform better. The person who has cleared the medical examination now will move forward to the next step, that is job offer. Sending an appointment letter to join the organization. When an applicant has passed all previous hurdles like selection test, employment interview, reference and background checks, then medical test, now he will be offered the job. Business firm will hand over the letter of appointment to the selected candidate. Letter of appointment includes date of joining, or selected candidate has to report on duty on a particular date. Appointee, the person who has selected, he must be given sufficient or reasonable time for reporting. After job offer, next and last step comes, that is contract of employment. Here we will do some document work, paperwork, executing some documents by the employer and the candidate regarding job title, duties, responsibilities, pay scale, etc. After accepting the job offer by the selected candidate, then documentation process will start. It starts with the attestation form. Here, candidate has to give self-attested detailed information about himself. This will be the evidence for future reference. Second, business firm has to prepare contract of employment. That will be the written contract between employer and employee, which includes job title, duties, responsibilities of a candidate, date of joining, wages, salary, plus other financial, non financial incentives or allowances, leave rules, hours of work, sickness, grievance procedure, work rules, termination of employee, etc. These all terms and conditions will be mentioned, and both employer and employee have to sign on this agreement. That will be the written agreement, written contract of employment between employer and employee. So students, selection process, which starts with preliminary screening, eliminate unqualified, unfit candidates at this step only. Then selection test with the help of trade test, personality test, intelligence test, interest test and aptitude test. Then employment interview will take place. then checking references, background, then final selection decision will be there. And those who are selected, then their medical examination will be there to check their fitness for the job, physical fitness for the job. Then job offer will be there, then written contract of employment, written agreement. So with the help of or with the process of selection, by performing all these steps, a business firm can find or select the best competent capable candidate for a vacant post for the organization. Now students, we will study what are the differences between recruitment and selection. Recruitment, where we need to search the suitable candidate for the vacant post. And in selection, we are selecting the right person. Second, recruitment, it is a positive process because with the help of advertisement, we are going to attract large number of people to apply for the job. And selection is a negative process because at each step of process of selection, we are going to reject the unsuitable candidate and we are going to select the best candidate only. Recruitment, its aim is to create a large pool of applicants, and selection aim to ensure most competent, capable, suitable candidate for the given job. Recruitment, it is a simple process. Selection, it is a complex process because with the help of different steps given in the selection process, we need to perform one by one and we need to evaluate the competency of a potential candidate. So, recruitment considered as a positive process, it is the act of finding or searching the right candidate to apply for a job, or we can say that this is the process to search for a potential candidate and to attract large number of candidates, large number of people to apply for the job. Selection, it is considered as a negative process, is the act of choosing the right candidate by screening out unsuitable candidates for a job. So before conclusion, students, I would like to mention the type of questions comes from this topic. First one, they can ask you define the selection. Then they can ask you explain all the steps in the process of selection. Then third, with the help of case study, they can ask you. By giving case study, they will ask you to identify and explain the steps involved in the above case study. And by asking you individual step in the process of selection, they can ask you the questions. So this is the important topic from the chapter staffing. So students, today we have discussed about the process of selection. And now the time is for home assignment. Do the given questions in your fair notebook. And in case of any query, any doubt, you can contact me anytime. Now the time is to say you bye. Stay home, stay safe and keep studying. Thank you.